Faby, and today I'm going to be talking about some cheap plot devices that your favorite writers and even you may be using and why we all need to #do better. I've been planning this video for a bit now, and as you may know, I am currently going to school for English to hopefully become a novelist or a screenwriter someday. That's why I get so heated talking about this topic. Today we're going to be talking about cheap character deaths and why this incredibly overused trope is so obnoxiously lazy. Yanta Jones, Beverly Katz, Abigail Hobbs, Gwen Stacy, Darwin from X-Men First Class, and like every other female in Supernatural. Why do all these people have in common? They're either women, people of color, or LGBT characters. Aside from that, they also received very shitty treatment in their respective universes. They were highly underdeveloped, except maybe Gwen Stacy. Maybe. And they all died an untimely death. This pisses me off like you guys have no idea. Death is a serious topic. It doesn't happen randomly enough for any of these people to have a justifiable death. This, my friends, is lazy writing. When you're constructing a piece of media, everything that you do has to have a valid purpose. Emphasis on valid. Invalid reasons include, but are not limited to, shock value, feels, and man pain. Now, you may be thinking that this video is just me being salty about Yanta Jones' death over half a decade ago, but it goes further than that. I see often in the rounds of the internet fans praise their favorite writers for giving them the feels whenever a character dies, and that is so incredibly wrong. If the only way that your favorite writer can give you the feels is through killing your favorite character, that's a weak-ass writer. Death is huge. It's controversial. It's impactful. Remember when Family Guy decided to kill off Brian for like 2 episodes and everyone flipped the fuck out? Even Yanta Jones still has a fucking memorial in Cardiff. Of course death is going to have a major impact on the show and on the viewers. That is why it needs to be done carefully. And yes, there are settings where a lot of deaths are justifiable. Places like war and post-apocalyptic universes and zombie apocalypses, you will have a lot of deaths inevitably. This is why I didn't bring up half the characters on Les Mis or half the characters in Game of Thrones. One is happening post-French Revolution where people are starving, and the other one's like magical middle age time when people died all the time. And while you could maybe argue that some of the characters I mentioned at the beginning of the video, their deaths were justifiable, what they chose to be the outcome of that death is what cheapened them to no end. Beverly Katz and Abigail Hobbs died just so Will Graham could hate Hannibal Lecter a little bit more. Penny from Dr. Horrible's sing-along song died just so Dr. Horrible could hate Hammer a little bit more. Every female in Supernatural died because they were female, and Darwin died because he was black. He could adapt to anything. And then magically when Kevin Bacon gets the little ball of nuclear power, he can't adapt to it. Okay, okay. Death is a personal matter. When a character dies, the story continues, and what that outcome may be has to explore everything around the death you brought, especially if it's to a semi-major character. That's why in some settings it's okay to not explore every single death. Death cannot happen for shock value. Hell, even the term jossing exists when it comes to death by shock value. Just because Joss Whedon is known to kill any random character that you may have fallen in love with just because he wants to give you the feels. I remember going to the Avengers, I knew someone was gonna die. Why? Because I knew this was a thing that Joss Whedon often did. When I saw Coulson get stabbed, I expected it, kind of. I didn't know it was gonna be him, but I knew someone was gonna die. I knew it'd be semi-minor and incredibly lovable, and Coulson has been a character that everyone fell in love with, so his death held such little impact for me. I'm sure Moffat and Russell T Davies and Susan E. Collins and Brian Fuller all thought their characters had very justifiable reasons to die, but in reality they didn't, and this is why they need to #do better. Now, I could go on about all my examples being minorities, but I'm gonna leave the racism, sexism, and heterosexism talk for another day. Subscribe if you've ever been a victim of the feels, and tell me in the comments any other authors that may overuse death so I can avoid them like the plague. Also, tell me, what do you guys think? Am I just being salty, or are some of the character deaths I brought up actually pretty cheap? Also, in the description below, I've left all our links to our social media as well as all the materials I used to construct this video. Remember to share and subscribe this video so all your fandom friends can come fight me. I'm not afraid, I know why I did this, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon.